All right, good evening, old school Texas Tech. If you would please subscribe, like, and comment, we would really appreciate it. We're going to be talking about the very unique game this week, especially considering the start time is 10 p.m. Central Standard Time in Tucson. You have Arizona coming off of a huge win at Utah, a team that I thought would run the table. I actually thought Utah would probably run the table in the Big 12. I thought maybe their only loss might be to BYU. But Arizona pulled off a huge win. In my opinion, the Tech win by the time the season is over, the Tech win over Cincinnati will be a bigger win than we think. I think Cincinnati is very good. I was very impressed with their quarterback. They were very good on both the offensive and defensive lines. I think that was a huge win for Tech last week. And I can't tell you as a Tech fanatic how much I appreciate the last 2 weeks, no matter what happens Saturday night, because these are games we do not win under the previous coaching staff. And I really appreciate it. Man, I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the coaching staff. And I know that it's a huge sacrifice for everybody and they're working hard. And so I'm proud of Tech in the last couple of weeks. I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel.
Same. To be sitting here 4-1, I feel like the Arizona State and Cincinnati wins were very quality wins. And I'm really seeing some growth with the offense too. I think Baron Morton is when he can stay healthy, he gets better. I mean, he's missed a lot of games the last few years. I know there's been some frustrations there, but that offense is it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is. The weakness of the offense is definitely the offensive line. We do have a bye after this game, but our offensive lines, they're fighting hard. They've had some injuries, some serious injuries, and Taj definitely helps. Taj Brooks definitely helps with the pass protection. I mean, there are a lot of those plays. If you watch, I watch the offensive line a lot during the games, and you'll see somebody will miss a block, and Taj is right there, and he just picks it up. I mean, it reminds me of like the Emmitt Smith days during the Cowboys dynasty. I mean, I'm not saying Taj Brooks is in that league yet, but I mean, he really is the full package. I can see where his NFL draft grade is going to go up because I mean I'm seeing him pick up some crazy blitzes. He's done a great job in pass protection. And you could tell in the game against Washington State when we didn't have Taj, you could tell Baron Morton was on edge for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
All right, so I'm gonna let you go first. So I'm gonna go just give you the information that I have. Vegas has us essentially. I think it's gone down a little bit, but they have basically have us as a touchdown underdog. Interesting enough, ESPN Analytics, which I find to be fairly accurate, they're actually giving Tech a 42% chance to win this game, or it's over 40%. So that's going on, and then obviously we have the elephant in the room, a 10 o'clock kickoff time, which is there's no way that favors the visiting team.
nope.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it kind of feels like a replay of what happened at Washington State. I think the late start on that one with jet lag plus no Taj Brooks kind of made things get out of hand. I think Washington State ended up being, well, they got beat, but they've been pretty good too. I looked, our offense is actually 15th nationally, and I think either yards per game or points per game. I don't remember which one. Um, I didn't see Arizona in the top 50. I might have missed them, but I've I'm going back and forth on this. I'm kind of flip flopping in my mind a little bit because part of me says Arizona just had the big win over Utah. They're going to get cocky and they're going to probably come out a little flat this week. But I still think, I mean, that Noah Fafita, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He's a gamer. He's just like the Cincinnati quarterback. He took a chunk out of us on the way to a loss. If I'm a betting man, unfortunately, I want to be a Tech homer here, and I hope and pray that I'm wrong. But I think Arizona narrowly escapes with a win here.
What do you think the final will be?
I see a 34-31 type score. I think we'll get a few stops, but I don't think. I mean, our defense last week they gave up 41. I know we had a pick six, which was a great timing, and then we had that fumble recovery early in the third quarter that led the points. the defense has moments where it's like, oh my God, here they are coming together, and then they get torched on a 75-yard play on the next series. So it's like, what defense is going to show up? But I would take Tech, or I would take Arizona to beat us, but by less than the spread.
All right, interesting. Okay. So I have some of the same feelings that you do. So I'm just gonna go with what I honestly think is gonna happen, and then I'm going to lay out what I think there's some reason for hope. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with my prediction. I think, more than likely it's in my mind, until Tech goes and wins one of these really difficult road games. I mean, this isn't. I mean, Arizona's not like Georgia or Alabama or any of the the top teams, but they're a solid. They're a good, solid team, similar to Cincinnati and Arizona State. They may be a little bit better. They may be a little bit better, but until Tech goes and wins one of these games on the road, it's just really hard to pick them. And then you've got the fact that they're just going to be sitting in the locker room till late Central Standard Time. So that part's difficult. So I mean, my gut feeling is that we're going to go out and the secondary is going to struggle. That receiver's going to get a couple of big plays on us, or if we were able to shut him down with like a double team, they have other weapons too. So I'm thinking, if just my gut feeling is it's like a 42-28 type Arizona win, but I do think, and there's something's going on with the ESPN analytics, and I think what they're seeing is kind of what you alluded to. What if, the chance that Tech has is if Arizona is overlooking Tech because they just got this big win against Utah on the road. They come in. Tech has a couple of big plays on special teams. They get the Tech has been playing very well on special teams for the most part, and then they get if Tech can win I think Tech would have to win the turnover differential by at least two, maybe three, to have a real shot. And then I think could see a game like that where maybe Tech were to especially if you had like a pick six or something again, that came out of nowhere. Maybe like a 38-35 Tech win, or maybe even a 42-35 Tech win would be the best, in my opinion, would be like the best case scenario. And that would have to be turnovers because let's face it, our front seven, our front six, whatever you want to call it, it's a bend don't break type thing. I mean, we've got two talented young linebackers, but they're young, and then we've got major injury problems with the outside linebackers in the secondary. So that's going to be an uphill battle. We'll have some breaks to win this game. But I'll tell you, if we do go out there and win this game at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever it's going to be, it will be an absolutely huge win. And Tech will, I predict, if we win this game, Tech will have we'll have more attention on the program since the Mike leak era, because that would put us at 5-1.
When's the last time we've been 5-1?
It has to be going back yes, it has to be the Leach
Yeah,
year. Yeah, yeah,
2008, but then 2008 they were 10-0, I think, before the Oklahoma debacle. But
yeah,
it's been a
yeah.
while since we've been 5-1, and like you said, going into a bye week, that'd be very nice.
Yeah, if in Tech, that bye week's going to be huge because Tech's we're so beat up in the secondary, and the offensive line's beat up too. So it's gonna be a fun game. I think we've got a little bit of an uphill battle, but um, it could happen. There's reason for hope too. I think that's kind of where I am. Anything
Yeah,
else you want to add?
no, I just have seen so many teams though, unless it's Alabama, Georgia, like you mentioned, or Texas, but a lot of teams when they get a big program win, they come out lethargic the next week, at least for a half. And if they come out lethargic for a half against us because they've been tooting their own horns, man, that might be just what we need to get out of there with a win. You know,
One of the things I'm starting to see a similarity, and I'm not don't take me out of context. It's context. I'm starting to see some similarity between Joey McGuire and Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson's in the Hall of Fame. Joey McGuire is just a third year college head coach. So I'm not comparing them completely, but I do see one really big similarity. They're both very good at motivating. They're using psychology to motivate players, and I think if we win, that could be a big reason for it. And also, Joey Coach McGuire has done a great job at home. And the next step for the program is to go and to be able to win some of these difficult road games. So I don't think it will be this week, but I don't think we're too far from being able to seriously contend for games like this.
Agreed.
Anything, anything else you want to add?
No, Joey McGuire, Jimmy Johnson together. Got it.
Well, you know, some similarities. If yeah, we may not want him to be quite as good as Jimmy Johnson because it might be hard to hold on to him at that point.
Yeah,
But
very true.
I
I
do
will be,
see some similarities.
I will be cheering hard for Tech, man. I'll be screaming my head off for them to win. So
I Yeah,
I
it's going
still
to
have
be rough.
hope. I still have some hope, obviously.
Yeah,
But
I think there's reason for hope. I mean, I think we're gonna know fairly quickly. Um, Yeah, and so I gotta get. I'm an early riser, as you know, so I'm gonna have to try to sleep late Saturday morning so I can make it into Sunday morning because this game's probably not going to end until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
oh, it'll be closer to two for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else you want to add?
All I got, man. We're coming up on the halfway mark of the season. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing some midseason report card type videos for all the Big 12 schools for sure, and then probably some other ones too. So
Good deal.
um, we'll get to that. So yes, any support for the channel would be greatly appreciated, and we will see you next week. Guns up, go Tech.
Go Tech. Thanks, everybody.